faster than a hairpin trigger. Don't you say, don't you say it. Don't say, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two wide receivers will be looking to be #1 targets on the field in today's game. It's Tate's Lions going up against Cook's Saints. With that, we'll send you out to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And we'll check in with the two men calling the action, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. And we say hi again, everybody. Brandon Gaudin here as we count down to kickoff. I turn to my partner, that's Charles Davis. And Charles, Larry pointed out in the open, we've got a pretty good matchup of wide receivers here this afternoon, don't we?
And those guys have such a big impact on the game nowadays. We know it's a throwing game, but the guys who can go up and get it, the guys who can break tackles after the catch and make bigger plays, oh yeah, they love spotlight as well. They want the football, they want the attention.
And Charles, trotting out now, the NFL leader in passing yardage this season. A lot of people just assumed it was Matt Ryan, but no, it was Drew Brees as the Saints take the field. 5,208 yards, his fifth time throwing for over 5,000 in a season.
Isn't he the only one who's thrown for over 5,000 yards more than once in an NFL season? So he's made that his benchmark, which tells you about his excellence. Absolutely unbelievable what he gets done, how they run offense in New Orleans. They've got to support him with better defense. If they improve there, they're a playoff team.
For Ingram, he topped the 1,000-yard mark this year for the first time in his 6-year career.
Didn't he just come out of Alabama last year?
That's what it feels like, right?
I mean,
hard
it's
to believe
amazing.
6 seasons he's had.
Won a Heisman Trophy there, finally over 1,000 yards as a pro, and he increased his number of long runs, becoming a much better ball carrier into the secondary.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The headshots here are the offensive unit. And what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
Six yards to go here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Brees. Escaping the pressure right. And some room to roam now. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Into the red zone, it's Brees. That is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Coleman, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Matthew Stafford brings out the Detroit Lions and the season over after a loss to Seattle in the first round of the playoffs. But you look at the totality of the year, Matthew Stafford. Middle of the season, certainly people were talking MVP, Charles. Over 4,300 yards, 24 touchdown passes as well.
And deservedly so, because not only was he playing really well, he was actually having to do things without all of his weapons. He had guys in and out of the lineup due to injuries. He was adjusting to new receivers. And guess what? He was winning big games in the fourth quarter. It almost became a regular occurrence. I thought he had a heck of a season and something really big to build on for next year.
Second down following the incompletion. Second and 10, Stafford again. That one intended for Anquan Bolden, and it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the third down pass falls incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up a fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. A chance for us to look at the Lions' defense again. And last time out, they got scored against. Their offense hasn't given them any help to this point. So maybe they need a stop here.
A stop obviously would be nice, not critical at this stage of the game, but one of the things that you want to find out from your defense, are you really ready to play? After giving up a touchdown on the last drive, let's see if they have a little bit better spark, a little bit better bounce in this series.
We'll see if they have that spark and that bounce right here. And he's got it. Coleman, touchdown Saints. Brandon Coleman with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Saints add on to their lead. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I got to figure out how to slow this guy down. Because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew that really could make some noise again next year, don't you?
I do, because I think they gained so much confidence this season, battling back from a tough beginning, working their way into where they looked like they had a chance to win the division. And while they didn't do that, they did get into the playoffs. Despite a myriad of injuries, they think this team has a bright future, and they feel confident about 2017.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
From the gun on 3rd down. Stafford. A hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's Breeze to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. That'll bring up second down. They'll come out in the pistol. Breeze now to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Well, this past season was tough for Abdullah. Foot injury costing him the last 14 games of the year, and that was a big blow. They could never really get that running game going, could they?
It changed everything for them because Theo Riddick, who is his backup, is really a third down back, the guy that they want to use out of the backfield to catch passes in open space. He had to become more of a runner, and I think that limited his effect.
And Abdullah lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught at the 2. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints now add 6 to their. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A second down run for Abdullah. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
offside. Defense.
They come out here in the eye. 3rd and 2, Stafford. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now a man who sat out 3 seasons. This is Tim Hightower. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Breeze hands to Ingram. Muscles him off. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Breeze. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's got Snead. Touchdown, New Orleans. Willie Snead, 45 yards. And the Saints add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
So here come the Lions now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. From from the gun. Here's Stafford. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He does have the one interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
They get 25 yards out of that one, and that leads to a New Orleans first down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now they'll run it on the toss. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Brees going to go on 4th down. Oh, it's dropped. He couldn't hang on. That would have been a big interception. Instead, they'll have a chance to get 3. A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
Donnell Ellerbe with a tackle.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. The Detroit defense, we get set to watch them go. And they dug down last drive on 4th down, got the stop on their side of the field. You play defense, Charles. How huge is that on this drive?
Can't even really quantify it because you're talking about field position, momentum, that element of feeling like we're the tougher team, because when you stop someone on 4th down, in a sense you're imposing your will on the other team, and that's exactly what they did, and that should permeate through the rest of the ball club.
Yeah, now who will impose their will on this drive? And this last year, right around mid-season, it's kind of when Michael Thomas emerged.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
On second down, Ingram spinning past him. He won't go down. Ooh, with a juke. And an alley to run. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Tim Hightower, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Saints just continue to roll.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
And they will line up now for the two-point try. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. And Detroit getting set to go now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Stafford now on second down. It's caught, left side, Bolden. Touchdown, Detroit. Anquan Bolden, 60 yards. And it's for pride now, but the Lions do get a bit closer. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Everyone's got four down. Ready.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On the carry, it's Hightower. Look at the spin. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, New Orleans. Tim Hightower with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are pouring it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Give them 18 on that one. And the Lions are going to have a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Amir Abdullah, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Here's Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back into... And the Saints signal for another timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is picked up by the Saints. Final shot before half for Breeze. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best as that brings us to the end. So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the 3rd quarter.
You know, we always talk about the chess match in a football game, but we're usually talking about offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. How about the special teams coaches? I think we just saw a big-time adjustment by one to help his team get a spark to start the second half.
Stafford on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver? Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. This is Reddick on the screen. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here 1st and 10. And here comes the Lions defensive unit. They trot back out onto the field. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's Ingram. Still on his feet. Again with a juke. Give him 11 on the gain there. And the Saints are going to get a 1st down.
Doesn't matter who the runner is going to be each week. Defenses get ready to gang tackle. They want multiple people to the ball. They want to make sure they take the proper angles to the runner. Make sure there's no place for him to spin out and go what they call through the back door and get away from people. And they want plenty of guys there to hit him, try to knock the ball free, the whole deal. But on that play, the best laid plans did not work.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They go again with Hightower. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look.
False start, offense.
Costly mistake for the offense. They now face 17 yards to go on 3rd down. This is Hightower. And some room to work. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tim Hightower, 47 yards. And the Saints just continue to roll. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns has got him in the lead. They'll try and sneak it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the balls deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass block.
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Abdullah. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And Stafford's in some pain, apparently. Yet to arise following the play. Well, he gets attended to. They'll step aside. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So you've got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives them a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field to try and get up and get it. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. Flushed out right. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
Now Breeze, escaping the pressure right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Now Hightower. They find some open field here. And down to the 36-yard line here. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. This is the veteran fullback, John Kuhn. Uses the stiff arm. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead. You love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3. Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case, they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And this one is right through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker.
But trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Breeze going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
To throw, it's Breeze. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun on third down. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. They overload him that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes against the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. On the carry, it's Kuhn, the fullback. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
But we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing now is Breeze. Flush to his right. And Josh Hill has it. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This is Thomas, and he's got room. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play,